Hello, everyone. Hey, welcome to the Rical Belizaire Show, where we just talk sports all day. Well, not all day, it's whenever I get home from work. But I've been trying to do this for a while, and the time's been things been a little difficult to do it. There's always something coming up. By the time I get home from work with traffic, I'm here in Pennsylvania, so I'm not gonna call it the Pennsylvania Jet fan. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it Rical Belizaire. I'm gonna keep it as is. But listen, man, I'm excited. The Jets are 6-3. Bye week, and I was hoping for Miami to lose, man, but they were a better team yesterday, so that was that, and Buffalo, even though the Vikings was trying so much to give him to give him the game, but they couldn't do it. I'm watching it. I'm screaming at the TV. The Vikings up, and they decide to play prevent defense, and they're just letting Josh Allen, just marching on, and then I'm like, okay, all right, Vikings had an opportunity to score, but they didn't, like first and goal, and they blew it, complete meltdown, right? And then all Buffalo had to do, take a knee, but the whole time I said, just go for it. As a Jets fan, of course, I wanted them to lose, and look at that. They lost, which is amazing. They lost back to back. Because, at first I was hoping that Josh Allen didn't play. But I said, no. I want him to play a little bit because you need help to beat Miami. We need help to beat New England. So, but anyway, let's get straight to it. The Jets bye week, but we playing New England next week. I don't know. It's one of those games, man. New England is a tough team to beat. Not because they tough that we can't beat them. We could beat them. It just, before we didn't have the players. But now the Jets are loaded with players, man. We are loaded with players. We're loaded on offense. We're loaded on defense. We're loaded on special teams. So we have the talent to beat them and just melt down. And you're looking at our quarterback now. Is Zach Wilson? Is he the quarterback? I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like for me, I didn't want Mark Sanchez. I thought Mark Sanchez was trash. It's sorry to call another man trash, but I thought he was trash. He should, Pete Carroll told him to not go pro. You need time, but he thought he was the man. I thought he was trash. I saw him in college. I watched the stuff. Watch the highlights, watch the games. I thought he was trash. He was a product of a good coach. Pete Carroll's I'm not gonna say he's a great coach, but he's a good coach. You have a good system. So Mark Sanchez was the product of that, and college at USC. You know what I mean? So that was that. And I didn't think the Jets should have picked him out. He was trash. He came here. Yes, we went to back-to-back AFC Championship, but not because of him. It was the defense, and that's one thing I fought with Rex Ryan for. And I remember talking to Willie Johnson in New York at Rockefeller Center. He was walking to his office, and I was coming out of the building, because we were both, working in the same building at the time, and I was talking to him. I said, hey man, I said we were talking. You probably don't remember that, but he said, hey, what do you think is Rex Ryan? We were having a conversation. I said, hey, Rex Ryan is a good defensive coordinator. But when it comes to the head coach, he's not that. You look at a lot of people, they got the job as a Todd Bowles, all those guys, they got the job. What got them the job? When they get the job, they're not doing. So like for me, I know that my experience, all this stuff got me the job. I understand when you hire people, of course, you want them to do the job. You don't want to micromanage and stuff like that. But if they're not performing, you have to be able to come in. I'm hands on I'm in my office. I'm hands on. I like to know what's going on. I'm not a micromanager, but I like to make sure that everyone know what they're doing. When I interview people, I want to make sure they know what they're doing. And which is the same thing I told Mr. Johnson at the time. And I said, hey, Rex Ryan gotta go. At the time we were, he had so many chances. And so that's that. But so let's get back to it. Like I said, for yes, Mark Sanchez was trash. We didn't, as a Jet fan, man, like I said, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, man. I've been a Jets fan, I think, since I was maybe 10 years old. You know what I mean? So I know I look young. I know with the face I look young, but I'm 44. So it's been a long time being a fan. I'm just watching the team and just bad football. And we had Chad Pennington, we had Vinny Testaverde. Testaverde, I had high hope for Testaverde, but then he got hurt and he's never been the same. Mark Pennington, to me, he was a smart guy, but no arm. My son was 7, could throw further away from him. I see my son in the backyard. 1 acre lot, he just airing it out, and so I think Anyway, but we needed a quarterback. So Mark Sanchez was trash, and then we got Sam Darnold, right? I'm watching, I see guys like Josh Allen, I know people say, Josh Allen, throwing picks. Yeah, but hey, he's better than these guys we have. I see Josh Allen. I wanted Hurts. I really want Hurts, and I was like, wow, this is a perfect thing, man. We could draft this guy, and give him the weapon. But we went with Sam Darnold, another trash player, man, garbage player. Man. These guys shouldn't even be football players. I don't, but they got lucky. They got the right people around them. You know how it is. So, hey, they got lucky. But I thought, Sam Darnold was trash. No progression. Then, I gotta, listen, Joe Douglas, he's a good GM. When it comes to bargaining, all the stuff, he's good. He's able to get the players, player team throwing away. He's able to get them, so he knows. He learned a lot from Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome was, to me, was the best GM, ever. One of the best GM. Look at that. Lamar Jackson. That's the last pick. The last pick he got. Man, I'm hoping that this guy going into free agency. I read this article. It was Kelly, I forgot his name. You wrote an article saying that the Jets should pick Lamar, sign Lamar Jackson. But listen, they'd be a fool to let him go. Anyway, I'm looking at Zach Wilson. We draft Zach Wilson. I watched Zach Wilson to be BYU. To be honest with you, I wanted Justin Fields because I thought Zach Wilson was trash. I still think he's trash. You know what I mean? Justin Fields. When you look at Justin Fields, you give him weapon. See, going to Chicago was a bad situation for him, but now you give him weapon. You see what he's doing. You see what weapon. Give him the right weapon. People say, well, Zach Wilson is not doing whatever because he doesn't have weapon. Can you imagine, right? As a Jets fan, if we had, Justin Fields at quarterback, man, this guy would be, right now we 6-3. We'll probably be 9-0. We'll probably be 9-0. You know what I mean? I didn't think, Joe Flacco. Yeah, Joe Douglas liked Flacco. That's his guy. You know what I mean? So, so you see Flacco's getting job with people he knows. He getting job with leaving the Ravens. He getting job with the Eagles and the Jets. I think Joe Douglas just giving him, that's his guy. He just giving him a free check. Here's a 10 million. He just giving him the free check. That's not his money. That's Woody Johnson and money. And Chris money, Woody and Chris money. So, you just, but anyway, it's time to, I think you just let this guy go, man. But like I said, but as a Jet fan, I'm looking at Zach Wilson. I'm rookie year, he made a lot of bad, dumb plays. It's rookie. He's a rookie year. I know that's the progression. We got to go through that. It's the growing pain. It's okay. We got to go through that. He's a rookie. He got to learn. But second year, I was hearing a lot of things. Oh, he's this, he's that, he's this. Robert Saleh praising him, doing that. Robert Saleh's a nice guy, so he's not gonna talk bad about players like that. You know what I mean? But Zach Wilson, is not it. Yet people saying, well, he only playing 18, 19 games. Okay. Well, you don't watch film? So, a lot of you guys maybe never play the sports. And that's the thing. Sometimes I hear the fans, there's a lot of fans, there's a lot of sports guys, guys who talk sports all day, on those podcasts, on those shows. These guys are like, I'm looking at, I know they never play sports in their lives. There's no way you could look at, I remember when Geno Smith was here. Geno Smith, now Geno Smith is a good player. Now he's, he finally found a good coach, a good system to help him. And Pete Carroll. So he's doing great. He's doing great in Seattle. But I remember in year 2, second game in, they wanted to get Geno out. Yeah, he's garbage. He's this and that. He's this and that. But Zach Wilson's worse. Terrible. Worse than Sam Darnold's, worse than Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, and all of the above. And they still praising him because they see him. They still want to get the interviews. They still want to get for him to sign stuff. So they just kissing him up. He, for you, like doing the shows, man, you can't be biased. You got to see it and call it. If the guy's trash, he's trash. You talking about he only played 18 games. This is why you watch film, buddy. You watch film, right? You do film studies to when you play in different teams. Every team have tapes. Every team have tapes. This is why you sit down, you watch films. And he's looking like Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson right now. You know what I mean? Now, can you when you want him to win games, can he do it? We didn't need him to win. Listen, last week Sunday, right? Last week Sunday with Buffalo Bills, he had 154 yards. And you know what I mean? I will take that. I will take those yards, 154 yards, because you know what? Because he make plays. He made a lot of plays to win the game. Right? So, do I want him to light it up for 300 yards, 400 yards like this other quarterback? Yes. But last week Sunday with the Bills, he actually made plays. When we needed him to make plays, he made plays. We don't need okay, Trent Dilfer, Rex Grossman, those guys were game managers. Yes, winning Super Bowl, it was the defense. They just happened to be ball holder. I don't call these guys quarterback. I call them ball holders. Ball handlers, whatever you want to call it. Zach Wilson is that. Year 2, you have to see progression. I understand. All right, you may not have the relationship on the field because you didn't play. Of course, again, I was a defensive end. Well, I was a strong safety, then a defensive end. So I know that the chemistry with the other players, you need to be able to be in sync with the players to know what's going on. So being like, if you're not on the field as a quarterback with your receivers and so on, of course there's gonna be going play. I understand there's gonna be some issues, but the light's gonna come on when I'm watching the Jets game. There's a lot of open receivers, and the offensive line. Okay, at the time they weren't. We had a lot of injuries, so these guys weren't. But these guys weren't that good. They were good, but the blitz. But 94% of 99% of that was because of Zach Wilson. Because once he got the ball, right, he running all over the place. 15, 20 years, he's running all over the place. So the offensive line can't cover. He's happy, he's just scared. He's scared because he's not a quarterback. You know what I mean? I want to see progression. I want to see him actually winning games. I want him to be the reason. Right now, the Jets are a Super Bowl contender, a Super Bowl team. We have one of the best defense in the NFL. You know what I mean? You look at the game with the Bengals, and you saw Quinn Williams yelling at the coaches, and I wrote to Robert Saleh. I wrote to the Jets, yo, listen, man. I told Robert Saleh, and I said, hey, I thought you were a defensive specialist. If you're a defensive specialist, man, take over. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say you listen to me, but at least other fans were calling. He kind of, he said, all right, I'm gonna ship it up. But and you see what he did? You let your front four actually play defense. Let them penetrate. You don't need to create all this scheme, all this whatever. I was very upset to know that watching the Bengals. I know the quarterback cover two. He looked like Zach Wilson in cover two. And we did that once. We went down and played once. Confuse him, and that was it. We were doing exotic blitz, all this stuff. I'm like, are you crazy? Come on. You have Sauce Gardner out there. See ball, get ball. Simplify things, man. You don't need to do all this, all this scheme, all this stuff just to run cover two. Cover two, bro. You confusing your own players because you're doing all the scheme, all the stuff to look smart. You look dumb. You know what I mean? So I'm glad Robert Saleh, take over the, say, hey, let me take over the game. You know what I mean? Hey, let's do that. Right now, you put Sauce out there, put him on the number one receiver. Hey, you don't need to do anything else. Simplify. We all, like I said, for those who play football, understand what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't play football, a lot of you guys, just lost, just praising Zach Wilson like he's the best. He's trash, man. He's trash. But anyway, you play football, you know that as a, hey, you tell the corner, this is your man. Stay with him, no matter where he goes. You tell you tell your number two corner, hey, stay with this, that, whatever. If you look at it, right? If you look at it, we have Sauce Gardner, we have Reed, and the nickel. We have Michael Carter in the second. Tell me the team in the NFL. Tell me the team in the NFL right now. All right, that have those three of the best. Those three corners. We don't. They don't. Then you got JFM doing his thing. You got to stop with the penalty, man. You got to know. Like I said, I've been running before I had a guy and the ball out. And, you know what I mean? Put your hand up if you whatever. If you got to know. But to come on, man. You got to. You're a good player. You know what I mean? You got you got to do what you got to do. You got to slow down. Quinn Williams, man. They got to double team this guy. Even with double team, he's still, man, he's a beast. Right? I'm 305. So I know how it is. You know what I mean? I'm 305. So I know how it is with this guy. You know what I mean? And we got We got Lawson. I want to see more from Lawson, man. You know what I mean? We're paying you all this money, man. All this money. I want to see something from him, man. You know what I mean? And I like Johnson. You know what I mean? Hey, Jermaine Johnson, man. You know what I mean? Hey, this kid gonna be good. This kid gonna be good. Just keep playing him. Don't confuse the stuff. Simplify. For all these coaches out there, all right? All these coaches out there, you listening, bro? Stop with the flam. Stop with the confusing. You running cover 2, cover 3. You know, with a nickel, whatever you running. You know, simplify. You doing all this exotic stuff. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're doing because you don't know what you're doing. Belichick, simple. He simplify. He do what he got to do. The great coaches make sure they know what they got to do. You build your defense based on your team, and the Jets right now have the team. We got Hoff. That kid is, let him play, man. I think we need to design more plays for him. You know what I mean? But then you're gonna take away from Jermaine, all the other guys. But this guy's a player, man. You put him in, he's wreaking havoc. He's the one that got the hit on Josh Allen. I was like, man, this kid is good. You know what I mean? Putting him out there, feature him. Listen, man, I would start him. First of all, I would start him. That's number one. Number two, you need to have some money for him. Pay that man. A lot of times, you pay players and then they're gone after that. The next season, they're not the same player because they got the money. But hey, he's a true pass rusher, man. Pay the man. Let's see what we got to do. Let's see what we have, and I think that we're gonna be good. But like I said, for we going to New England. It's not an easy place to play, but we could beat them. We could definitely beat them, man. They're not. Come on, they beatable. We beat ourselves. I wish Breece Hall was around, man. AVT, Breece Hall, man. That was something, man. But hey, we got players. We got players being healthy. So I need Zach Wilson to show me that, if he could have the same game, even better, because there were a lot of open players. I watched the games. There was a lot of open players that he missed. A lot of throws, you know what I mean? But after that, I saw, okay, all right. He calmed down, and he ran a few times. He started doing whatever, and we don't need you to be, as a Jet fan, listen, now I wish you were like Lamar Jackson. I wish you were like Justin Fields. You know what I mean? Even Josh Allen. I would take that.